Hello, I'm Albrecht Ansohn, and thanks to sharing perspective to invite me to share some experiences with you on our work creating or enabling better cooperation between refugees and host communities in German municipalities. I'm sitting here in Potsdam, close to Berlin, my hometown. Some words about myself. I'm a carpenter by training, and I run a carpentry workshop together with some colleagues during many years in a social and political hotspot area in Berlin. Later I studied industrial psychology, and since many years I'm working mainly for the German international cooperation abroad. It's like DFID in the UK. As a social activist, I'm always working on different social issues, and I'm part of an NGO called Impulz. Impulz has its strength on participatory processes. We also are debating alternatives to growth, that we have a interesting experience how to bring different opinions together around a table. For example, in the very controversial issue of new wind power plants. Okay, when we had the huge influx of refugees in end of 2015, we became aware that we need to do something and we need to contribute with our own experience. And as we have this long experience in participatory processes, how to create settings where different people with different opinion can contribute to a bigger whole, we felt that we should focus on creating settings where refugees and host community can cooperate better. And our main concern has been how can create a situation where refugees, by their resources, their experience, can contribute to leave this position of being a subject of care of others, but to feel empowered to contribute, to be part of the setting they are living in. And my personal focus has been on municipalities. Why municipalities? In the German system to care for refugees, mainly smaller municipalities have a very limited mandate. We have a huge fragmented system with mandate on the union level, on the federal country level, on the county level, and finally smaller towns often are only responsible for schooling and education issues, but many other important things are mandate of the county. On the other hand, municipalities has huge importance for creating social cohesion, because nobody is living in a county, in an administrative entity, but you are part of a neighborhood, of a town. And in many towns, mainly in smaller ones, the quality of life depends highly on commitment of the citizens. It relates to the cultural, to social life, but even to public goods as security. For example, all the smaller towns around Berlin have a voluntary fire brigade, or we have huge floodings from time to time, and the whole system of combat and prevention of natural disasters is only working by huge citizen participation. So we wanted to open these systems that refugees can become a part, and by this kind of cooperation we are going out of this discourse how people has to behave to be accepted, but what can everybody contribute for a better life in our municipality. We found an interest in different municipalities by the majors or the city council, because end of 2015 they felt overwhelmed by the challenges to enable housing, education and so on, often the mainly basic services. So they have been very happy for any kind of support. And then we often started a process when it has not been completely clear where it will end and where we should go. When we started a cooperation in a municipality with the city council or the mayor, often we heard at the beginning, we don't have conflicts, it's working smoothly, there's a huge engagement of citizens. And when we went around and talked with different groups, we found out that perception is completely divided. There has been often a part of supporters, very committed people from the church, from social welfare organization, even from the schools, and they did really huge attempts to enable every kind of support to refugees. And on the other hand, we talked with people completely hostile, not willing to accept anyone living in their town from abroad. And so we tried to dig a bit deeper and see what contributed to the situation. And we found out that often there have been kind of escalating processes which has not been addressed when it started. I understood better that for a small town with 10,000 inhabitants, 500 people from Syria or Afghanistan, this is a change in daily life. Yeah? And this is, of course, not happening without conflicts. Very small examples. In a shopping center, often the only public place where people is moving around, we had a small plaza with banks and plants designed to be a place of encounter of citizens, which is not happening normally. Nobody sits there. This is a vast place. And suddenly, in summer, it has been full of people from Syria with all their kids, and noise and movement, and mainly elder people going to shop there. They felt threatened. They didn't understood what is happening, and they felt not able to ask people why you're sitting here all the time or what is happening. This is really, this sounds ridiculous, but it's a change in daily settings where people felt not able to handle this. We had other examples, for example, the only big coffee shop in this shopping center where mainly elder people is going to take their tea or their coffee. Suddenly you have a huge group of young men from Syria, Afghanistan, typing in their smartphones, because this is only free wireless internet access, so they are all there gathered and using it. But if people feel not able to address to them This creates crazy situation, something not seen before, and people feel uncomfortable. And how this escalating process is looking like? We talked with young refugees, and they said, okay, we went in big groups there because people is looking with anger to us. We felt aggressed, so we feel more secure if we're going in a big group and use the internet there. There are many other situations where it started with really a small situation where people had a completely different perception. And the problem is that this has not been addressed. And finally, we created some dialogue fora where we said, let us create a safe environment for bringing problems on the table. But we had to see that the momentum has been missed. At the beginning, the first fora where the municipality informed about arrival of refugees, this started to work well. People has been very interested, but this has not really created an exchange, a dialogue. This has been mainly a forum where one group tried to dominate the other one. So we had a win-lose situation, and this could not contribute to create trust. And meanwhile, the whole debate in Germany has been so polarized that we felt that people is not going to dialogue fora because they are afraid of being aggressed or not or judged in a very negative way by others. So to address directly the limitation, the challenges of living together with different perception of daily life, this has not worked as we would like to have it done. So we again we said we have to dig a bit deeper and try to find out what is contributing to this polarizing situation and what could be a way of de-escalation. In general, the arrival of many people from abroad has been in many places a kind of catalyst which brought things from the ground to the surface. Positive things like this huge commitment of many citizens to want to contribute and to support, but also critical aspects. And in Germany, too long time, we said we are in a very privileged situation. We have a low unemployment rate. Very few people has to live in the street. So where is the problem? But this is not applying for everybody. In many smaller East German towns, of course, there is a competition among people newly arriving and those living for a longer time with a low income and in a vulnerable situation. There's a competition for cheap apartments, for jobs needing low qualification, and even a competition for the attention of the public administration. And we felt that many good-minded intentions, like creating a welcome committee, might lead rapidly to a perception that Syrian people are welcome, and they got a lot of attention, and we as people in a weak social situation, we are no more welcome, and care for our problems is reducing. And finally, some conclusions and how we think it could work better in the future. Currently, addressing directly conflicts between refugees and host community is extremely difficult. First, in many municipalities, there should start any kind of dialogue between the public administration and citizens, even focused on very simple daily things like the state of the streets or anything, because this is the first step to create trust, to bring people around a common issue, and create mechanism how together discuss solution for daily problems. And of course, the refugees, or the people, we don't like so much to call them refugees, because who like to be considered all the time as a refugee? We want that they become citizens as others. They should be part of this, but not in the focus, but being invited to contribute, to discuss as everybody else. A second initiative should be taken to restructure the fora for integration. In many municipalities, there exists a council on integration, and who sits there? The welfare organization, the church, the schools, but this is not representing the society, and mainly the groups who are in a certain competition with refugees, like the receivers of social welfare subsidies. They are not a part of this process, and this is extremely important, that we have a real inclusive setting, that welcoming ones will not and could not be considered as excluding others. So this is a long way. We have been much more optimistic a year ago. We have to acknowledge this, that this will take time, even to listen, to deal with very different opinions, to be patient and see what is really the concern behind and how we can give space for it. Thank you for your attention. I hope I could bring it a bit closer to you. I think this for us will be the way forward to create more inclusive settings of collaboration that we also can offer to those who came as refugees, being part of the whole without fearing to exclude others, and on the other hand, with a real welcome to their collaboration and their resources in the benefit of the municipality. Thank you very much.